Welcome to this episode of the Leadership Table podcast with Danielle and Chad Reyes. I'm so excited to spend some time with you guys. And today we have a dear friend of ours, Cory Schifter. Cory's a phenomenal entrepreneur, a phenomenal businessman. And I think as you get to hear his story, you're going to find that he's just a phenomenal guy. So Cory, Danielle and I are so excited to have you with us, my friend. So welcome to the podcast.
Thanks so much. Appreciate being on. Appreciate you both as well. We've known each other a long time, and looking forward to having some fun and opening up a bit. Yeah, I'm excited about this. Yeah. Thanks for inviting me.
Well, we're glad to have you. So, Danielle and I, this podcast is all based around leadership, right? And one of the things that we always talk about, Danielle and I, is we talk about if you're leading well, then you're making a difference in other people's lives. And one of the things I remember just when, you and I started, I don't know, becoming friends somewhere probably around 2010, 2012 in that area. I saw the things that you were doing for our local community, the impact you were making, and you really almost turned your business into a social enterprise, right? Where it wasn't just the purpose of just making profit, which you obviously are very successful, but you also turned it into how do we get return on impact, right? Not just a return on investment.
Yeah, talk about the 3 R's.
Yeah, the 3 ROIs. Danielle and I would just love for you to kind of just share a little bit about your story. Even that I think it would be cool for our listeners to hear that first time that you went to a chamber event and what occurred. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, there's a big story behind this. So just a little bit about me and where I've come from, and I came out from nowhere, it seems like, but I'm still here, so that's a good thing. Back in 2009, my family and I purchased Casale Jewelers, and my mom and dad were in the business in 1986. They owned Independent Jewelers Market, which was kind of like a flea market, I guess, and really, my dad tried to make a better life for our family and not, sell his taxi medallion. He drove a yellow taxi cab, which was interesting too. Yeah. Growing up in the 80s, driving around New York City with my dad in the front seat of a car at 10 years old with no seatbelt, as everybody's smoking cigarettes, right? In today's society, that might not go over well, but it went over back then because nobody was watching, I guess. But at the same time, it was very interesting. Let's put it that way. But, at the age of 11, my mom and dad decided to go into the jewelry business. And, at that age, I didn't know much other than the Mets won a World Series, which is why I'm still a Mets fan today, right? But I did know that it was a good year for the Mets.
I'm a Mets fan, but we're still waiting.
Well, we had 69, but I wasn't born. So the first one I was born for and everything else, right. So that's where I was introduced to living with my grandmother while my parents were building out the business. So when my dad went into the business, it was interesting. I always remembered him knowing customers, my mom too, and them always, being there for people, helping nonprofits and stuff, and not really, boasting about it, but just being there for people and making people feel comfortable. And when I went into the business myself, I wanted to experience and others people to experience the same, and then just grow upon what I've learned from them, to value others, right? And to be able to give back and be able to be a business that's just not about us, but about everyone. So, when you see a lot of what we do at Casale Jewelers, there's a lot of integration with not just having a product for sale, but, we try to impact other community nonprofits and people in need. So like that's, as a small business, I felt like my calling was to not just impact the lives of others through what we do, but also hopefully, mentor others and bring others to do business the same way and lead by example, as we'll call it, to lead. And in the beginning it was hard, honestly. It was very scary because it wasn't very busy. We were struggling at the time. It was 2009, so everybody remembers that mortgage crisis that we went to. We went through. It was scary. It was very scary. I had a job where I managed 25 people at Merrill Lynch, and my wife just started dating me at the time. She's like, I got this guy, a manager at Merrill Lynch, and next thing you know, I flipped the whole thing upside down, and now I'm operating a business that's not doing much business whatsoever. So with that being said, that's kind of when I decided I wanted to explore, join the chamber, give things a shot, and just try different things. And one of the first things I tried, I'll share this one. This was the ultimate fail, but it opened my eyes, right? And you have to learn from your failures, right? Which is what leadership's all about. So my dad, after I called him after 2 weeks saying, Dad, no one's coming in my store. What am I going to do? I need help. He told me, contact the Advance and put a tear off on the front page of the newspaper, the Advance, and offer a free watch battery. So I'm like, free watch battery. All right, sure. He goes, the doorbell will be ringing. We got a doorbell system.
Yeah.
Those of you who know, been to us, doorbell, ring, ring, ring. That's how you come in. That doorbell hasn't rang for 2 weeks. But on this day, when I ran this ad, I'm in the back office feeling all good about myself because the doorbell was ringing more than it ever did. And with that being said, I waited for that moment to come down and see what's going on because the team was handling everybody. And what was it? It was all senior citizen men yelling at me that I'm a fraud, that I did not put limit 1 per customer, right? So with that being said, I went down, instead of being happy, what happened? I went down having to defend myself as to it being a misprint. Well, with that being said, fraud, you're this, you're that. Instead of making friends, I made enemies, right? These older men were furious, right? That they made the trip down and their Ziploc bags filled with those watches were not going to be finished, right? We did do the limit, the 1 per customer. We tried our best to manage it. But at that moment, I realized what was happening and I did what every good person would do in that moment, run. So I ran in the back. Right. And I was hiding because I didn't want to go back down there. I didn't know how to handle this. And my manager at the time came up to me and said, hey, you got to come down and handle this. Right. And I said, please, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, just please make this right and handle it for me. And like, you've been doing this, you know how to handle. And she looked at me and laughed. At that moment, the ice kind of broke a little bit. And they, the staff there that was with the Casale team started to warm up to me a little bit. And I decided to have a one-on-one meeting with everybody and promise them that I'm going to do my best to find a way. I don't know what way it was or where it was or what I'm going to do, but give me the time to figure this out, and I promise you I will. And that's when I joined.
Watches that someone brought to you.
What was that?
What was the most amount of watches someone brought in a bag for batteries?
I don't know, but they were full and it was a freezer bag, so whatever you want to do. However you want to plan it out, it had to be about 15.
Wow.
So, I didn't count, but yeah, I had my eye on the amount of watches that were coming through that would have put it probably into bankruptcy. But at the same time, it was an eye opener there because I realized there's no quick win in business, just like in my business, right? My business, we love engagement rings, right? And people get engaged, right? But and that's like the greatest thing for us, right? I love being part of that special moment, but you wouldn't expect somebody to propose on the first date, right? And pop the question right away and expect them to say yes, right? That's kind of where I was coming out at. I was coming out way too aggressive, offering this just for you to even say hello or visit me, right? And it was a bust, right? And the same thing at my first chamber event that you kind of brought up, which I appreciate. But when I first joined the chamber, I was excited because they have these networking events, right? Where you go in and you network with people. So my definition of network at the time was give everybody a business card and let them know that I'm here for them, right? No bueno. Why? Because networking is not about me. Networking is about relationships, getting to know others, valuing others, right? Like I was a human walking business card to the point where I had none of these left. But what I did have was a glass of wine in front of me, food in front of me, and an empty table, looking around at everybody else networking. So at that moment, I kind of had an epiphany, like, this isn't going to work, right? I got to figure this out. And I looked around and just saw people talking, actually having genuine interest in what others were saying, right? Valuing others, right? Just like we're told biblically that we're called to value others, right? We find joy in valuing others, and others feel valued when we value others, right? And that's really what we're called to do. And it was like I had another moment, right, where I realized it's like there's nothing quick here, But what there is there's an opportunity to do things a little bit different that I'm noticing from a lot of people that are doing a lot of different things, and that is get involved in the community, network, build your brand on you, right? You're your brand. If you want to get out there and you want people to trust you, then they trust you. They don't trust the necklace I'm wearing, right? Because that's not going to do anything for me, or the engagement ring I designed, because that's not going to do anything. No, but they trust the individual who goes out there and wants the best, not just for the self, for the business, but also for others, which is how we developed the brand of Casale Jewelers.
Yeah,
Pretty interesting.
That's such a great story. I love both of those. I actually love a lot of hearing about your failures. And I'm sorry to say, Cory, but I do. And I do because you're so vulnerable about it. You're so genuine about it. And you love it because you like to help people also understand that it's okay. Like failure is part of success. And we talk about often, it's something I'm always sharing with my team too. There's a process in everything that we do of a know, like, and a trust. right? So people got to know you. Then do they like Cory, right? And then, now do they trust Cory? So can you share with us, with those two being examples, right? How did you then turn networking or relationships into that process of a know, like, and trust? How did you get them to trust Casale Jewelers or trust Cory Schifter?
Just be real, like, be what you are and who you are, and be fair. And I mean, there's a lot to earning the respect and earning the trust of someone, and it takes a lot, you get there, you have to hire the right people that are also trustworthy people as well, right? That follow your culture. And one of the things I can say is that my team they're loving and caring people that have hearts of gold, that want to do the best they can for our customers. And look, you're not always gonna win and make everything perfect like it always should, but it's what do you do after you fail, right? How do you shift things? How do you make things right? And how do you, like, make people feel valued, right? Especially when you're not 100% on, right? Because things happen in business. Everything happens. Nothing's ever right. It's never like, oh, that was the smoothest day I ever had, right? There's always a bump somewhere, right? And sometimes there's even more bumps, and sometimes the road sways, and sometimes you feel like you're losing control of the day because there's just too much. But when that too much happens, it's like, all right, what do? You grip, you say, all right, I got to figure this out. And you figure out what the best approach is for the other person that's you're having to build up, right? If you can build your business the way you live your life and the way you expect others to treat you, right, with value, right, and giving your best to all that you do, then no one can ever really question you, right? Because you're always giving your best, right? Not that you're going to succeed at everything you do, but always doing your best to be your best in all that you do. And that's just something how I live my life, and I teach my kids. And if I teach my kids that, then and I don't live that way, then I'm a hypocrite, right? And I don't know. I guess the reason why we've found the success we've had is, we're just all in, and what does all in mean? It means that, no matter what happens, no matter what failure happens, no matter what circumstance or situation happens, nothing's going to sway me from trying to be my best and do my best in all that I do. Everything's a blessing from God. God gave me the blessing of being able to run a business, being able to give the opportunity to scale this business, right? He just didn't say, all right, here it is, and good luck, and now I'm going to give me everything. Nobody gave me tools to be able to see, right, that there's no quick way to giving away a free watch battery and building your business, right? There's no free way to go to a networking event, have 5 glasses of wine, and hope that people are going to want to do business because you gave them a business card, right? Just being honest, right? I don't drink anymore. Give it up 6 years, but that was me back when I first started in the business, trying to find my way. When the way was being paved for me the whole time, I just had to be open to God leading me to where I am now today, and just blessed that everything He's given me, I've done my best to give 110% to, and if not, then it wasn't meant for me, because I'm either one way or the other in all that I do. And leaders live that way, but especially be all in to value those around you, whether they're your staff, whether they're your clients, customers, family. I mean, whatever we do as leaders, we're only going to have to respect as leaders if we treat others the way they should be treated, right? And it's hard. Listen, it's hard because there are situations out there where, you don't want to, don't want to act that way, right? I mean, people are not happy. They're frustrated. Things happening. Things are moving, right? It's very easy to get frustrated. But when you take a step back and you look at everything as a blessing, it's also very easy to be able to handle situations much better when you're welcoming God in your life and allowing Him to work through you, rather than the enemy working in you.
Yeah, so good. And they also say no two good consecutive days are in a leader's life. So when you're that
depends on what you define as good. Depends on what you define as good. I really think of it that way, because what is good? I mean, it's a good day today. I mean, I get to speak with you both. I get to look at, areas of my life where God has worked and be able to lead me to where He's leading me today, and just be able to be on this road together. Just be grateful for the nows, So now's a good day. So
when you think about it, right? There's different reasons why people build businesses, right? A lot of the times you hear business owners say, well, I just want it to be profitable. And you find that those are the business owners that are not as profitable as the ones that are on a mission, right? They figured out a way to make a difference in people's lives. And in the process of making a difference in people's lives, they have a thriving business. I know you and I have had conversations, obviously, behind behind the podcast camera, right? Where you've shared where you've taken this local business, right? That's made a nice impact in the Staten Island community. And now you're doing the same thing in the Red Bank community, New Jersey. But I'd love for you to talk about the mindset now of expansion, because I know that you're looking at expansion. I'd love our audience to know more about what you're doing with the expansion. And maybe you could share a little bit about that, and we could talk about leading through an expansion model.
Okay. Yeah. Listen, the opportunity was here for me to separate from my team in Staten Island, who has been so good to me and enable me to try something new here in Red Bank and build out a model that's never really been built before. I kind of wanted to build a boutique by appointment bridal design suite because I felt like our industry needed it. After looking how people and other stores handle their bridal customers and clientele, it's an important moment for couples, right? Yeah. Where they want to share a special moment together, whether they're shopping together, right? Because now they're coming together too, or they just want to have that moment when they open the box and they have this beautiful engagement ring. But how did you get there to the ring, right? Like to me, the ring is the story, right? It really is the story of where it begins when you design one, right? So like ultimately, in our industry, there's no value for the bridal or engagement ring and wedding band customer like there are in other industries. For example, if you two got married, you shopped, right? You went to a DJ and you sat down with catering halls and what did they try to do? They tried to win you. They did their best to give you everything you wanted and more, and for you to feel like this is who we want to DJ our wedding. This is who we want to go to for our catering hall, right? And you picked all those based on them trying to win. In our industry, I saw a big loophole where the jewelry people don't want to win you. They just want you to settle on what they have in their case so they can be done with you and not invest the time in developing a relationship of building a ring for you, right? So that's what this was. It was like, let me build out something special. God has blessed me abundantly in a way that made me realize the value of being able to minister to these couples who are coming in and trusting me to help design their rings. It's the beginning, right? Like, when you think about it, right? The engagement ring is interesting because it's like, just like anything, it's like two become one, right? It's written in scripture, right? The ring and the diamond, two become one. It's the same kind of combo of how couples come to become one. And then when you design it and when it's that much more special and you feel good about who you're designing with rather than just ordering on a phone or walking into someone's store and settling on something you don't even know what it is, right? Go design, right? Like, and I was like, let me just try this because I feel like we need it. And with that being said, it's been a blessing. It's been great. I'm in the process now of building out 2 franchises in the U.S. in the New Jersey and Boston, Delaware area. I have an investor who's interested in moving forward and proceeding and building out a franchise based on this model of how we're doing things, which is much different than everywhere else. And I'm excited about it. Cool. It's an opportunity to minister to more and to really value couples that are looking to get engaged and ultimately get married and give them what they deserve rather than try to sell them what's been sitting around. Right.
Love that whole experience.
So yeah, it's been a blessing for sure. And I'm excited about it.
That's good. Hey, so could you speak to our audience, right? Because the mindset's very different, right? When you go from running a local community-based business to now building a franchise model, right? Where you're looking for potential franchisees. Can you kind of just share the shift, the mind shift that you're looking at from when you were just Cory in Staten Island to you were Cory in Staten Island and Red Bank to testing a prototype to now Cory taking the prototype and bringing it to other locations? Like, what's been your mindset on leadership and in business as you've kind of progressed through those different phases?
Yeah, it's a great question, actually. I just felt led. The mindset was this is needed in our industry. And there's a big hole here for people that, especially our couples that want to be able to experience something special. And I didn't know where it was going to go initially. I mean, I had my place, I had a lease on this place in Red Bank probably for about a year before I really got the vision of what I was going to do with it in order to build it out myself. I actually, believe it or not, I built everything myself here. And I put it together with my own two hands, other than some electrical work, which no bueno. Yeah, I don't need to electrocute myself. Other than that, I built it out myself. And, I really wanted to try something new. I think the thing is leaders, when they lead and when they realize that there's opportunity, is they don't drift away. They go forward to it thinking like, I got to figure this out. And if this works, great. If it doesn't, then I tried. But I was at the point where I wanted to give the effort into trying this because I just felt led. I felt like this is some type of opportunity. And even having a conversation with you too, Chad, and bringing it by you. I mean, you mentioned that this is a great, the model I'm building is a great opportunity for franchises, actually. So to have this now come up this way and be able to have these all over the country and providing an outlet for couples that want a great experience that they deserve, not only just buying a ring, but getting diamond education and sitting down with me and learning. I traveled the world with De Beers. I went to a diamond mine. There's me polishing a diamond right behind me. I have assets here, pieces of stone from diamond mines, right? There's a piece of kimberlite, right? So this is from a diamond mine where diamonds actually grow inside of this, right? So it's crazy. Like, it's actually very cool when you think about where I've been and what I've been able to experience. But overall, where I'm able to now build because of it, right? All roads lead to where I am right now. And, God's given me the gifts and tools to be able to say, hey, like, this is something that he feels and I feel, and I felt that this is needed. And to be able to say that and then execute on it and fail, because I have had failures along the way and I've had bumps along the way. And, it's very easy when you fail to run, right? It's so easy. And I say it to my kids all the time, there are two basketball players that both got cut from their freshman basketball team. Their names are Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Imagine. So but then there are other guys that also, or girls, whatever, that also got cut from their freshman basketball team. Who were they? I don't know.
Yes, the ones.
And I tell my kids the same thing. And I say, well, what about those other people? Oh, nobody heard about them. Nobody heard about them because they quit. So people who persevere through trials and people push through, especially when their back's up against the wall, are the ones that are going to find success regardless, even if they fail along the way.
Yeah. You're right. A lot of businesses, like you start, like at the beginning when you said when people weren't coming to you, right? You went and you said, okay, how can I get them to come to me, right? A lot of other, they talk about 90-something%, you're good with the numbers, but I don't know if it's 93, 92% of small businesses when they start, before, I think it's after
5 years. They fail within 5 years?
Yeah.
90%.
I was going to say a couple of failures.
90% of small businesses will typically fail within the first 5 years of opening up their doors.
I mean, that's crazy. 90%. That's significant, and that's the difference. The difference is the perseverance, right, of somebody who really believes in what they're looking to do. And I know for you, it wasn't jewelry; it was people. And I know that because you said I would have never went into the jewelry business if your dad didn't start and you felt that you needed to help him. I love the boutique. I know that we've spoken about it, the boutique experience. We talk about something. I know our events coordinator and our organization, we lead everything with a love experience. And that's leaving others valuable experiences. And that's why I love about the educational part that you said you bring that other people can't bring, where you are and how you're going to duplicate that. Would you share with people what makes your boutique different and what is the process that you bring couples through? Like you said, it's the beginning of their story. What is that process that you bring them through? Like, what could they experience with you?
Great question. So I guess two sides of the bridal experience are engagement rings and wedding bands. So engagement rings is a unique one where, the usual experience, right, is you walk into a store, you go to someone's case, you look around at something that looks similar to what you want, and then you say, all right, that one, right? So then that one, they pick that one out, they show it to you, you look at it, it has to be sized and altered for you. It has to be the stone. Let's do a different stone. So you alter the ring, you alter to the point of now you get your ring, as it is, right? And then I have to go as a jewelry store owner and replace that ring. Make sense?
Yeah.
So the expense of the rework and everything else of all that goes away when you custom design the way we have, because we built out a tool system where you magnetically create your rings, right? And you come in first, and the majority of couples are coming together. So we'll use the couples as an example. They come in and they get a little, I ask them a few questions where they are with things, and you have pictures of what you have. And usually, the girls like I do, and they pull up their phone and they have everything already pinned and everything, the whole board drawn and all that. But we go through and we're able to create things and give looks to things similar to what they're looking for. And then we do it magnetically with this magnetic kit where you can put different diamonds on with different shapes and different sizes and stuff. And you get to visually get a feel for what the ring's going to look like, which is fun. So at that moment, we also get an idea as far as what diamond you're looking for to set into that ring. So at that moment, we come into my design room, which I'm in right now, and we actually go ahead and we give you a diamond education. It's a lot of fun. We educate you on the 4 C's of diamonds. We tell you what not to buy, natural versus lab-grown diamonds. What's the deal with that? And you learn and you become a mini diamond expert with some quizzes along the way. It's a lot of fun. It's interactive and it's educational. And people feel important and they feel like they've known a lot more. There's a lot of myths out there about diamonds online, TikTok, everywhere else. We debunk a lot of that by just sharing the truth and bringing others to understand the truth as well. And at that point, they go and they look at real diamonds, natural or lab, whatever they're looking at. They get to experience that. And as a couple, they have an hour appointment with me where they get to see and experience how things work. And, we provide visual renderings and we provide, 3D prints of rings and stuff like that we design 3D in our own gear. And, we just do things that nobody wants to do. We invest in you because we want to go the extra mile in providing you what you want, how you want, and be able to be proud of the ring that you're wearing, that you've designed.
I want a new ring, honey.
I think you do too. I think that'd be great to go visit on site and let's see what happens.
Hey, Cory, we have about 3 minutes left, right? In the last 3 minutes of today's podcast, can you share with us a couple of things? What are you looking for in a potential franchisee, right? So what are the things that you're looking for in a franchisee? And then, why would they want to be involved in this unique business model? And by the way, I think the model that you're building is brilliant. And the reason is, and you and I have had some conversations, the reason why is that most businesses don't realize that they can't spend time with the people because they have so much overhead and they have so much stuff happening that they're just having to move stuff. And they're no longer in the people business. All they are is in the manufacturing and distribution business, getting things in and out, in and out, in and out, right? You've turned that upside down. You figured out a way to put people first and to create a wow experience. If someone's watching our podcast and says, one day I want to be, I'd like to maybe own a franchise. Who are they? What do they look like? How do they get in touch with you? And just share, some parting wisdom before we wrap up.
Sounds good. Yeah. So I think that the value of having this model this way is the one-time investment into what you're getting from this will allow you to provide to the couples exactly what they need and how they want it and how they really should be designing their engagement ring, right? This is, again, I use engagement ring as an example. We do wedding bands and diamond classics, but the engagement ring really is the investment into where we specialize in bringing things to life the way they should. Having a brand new ring set for you, but also when you want to open a jewelry store, generally, there are millions of dollars of merchandise that you need to have in store in order to provide what every store needs, right? So that merchandise is basically sitting around collecting space. For me, my merchandise is model-based jewelry that I go and I choose to custom design so that, you don't have to replace what's there. You can design what you want, how you want. And at the end, I built a model that took everything that I felt was a struggle in the jewelry business, and I made it more of a single owner occupant like myself or one other individual that wants to set their own hours, basically create their own marketing plan based on where we're able to provide that's been successful for us to you, and be able to build out a location where you have your own jewelry store business for under $200,000, to be honest with you, with a full inventory and with everything that you need to launch, to get everything going as far as a grand opening event, everything. So the interesting part of this is that there's nothing like it out there. It's kind of what I'm gathering from, I mean, it is what it is, but there's, the lawyers, everybody who's now that we're approved to start selling, that they're seeing so much value in so many, because just like you would own a stock portfolio and have different stocks, people own franchise portfolios and have different franchises, where this seems like, you can work what you want, you can do the hours you want. So if you're a stay-at-home mom and you have time during your school day and one weekend day for a few hours, you could have a very decent living and have fun doing it. So really open to everybody who wants to do something unique and different, and not have to overspend on inventory, because we're going to give you everything you need to be able to create what you want, how you want. So it's very cool. Training's awesome. They get to work one-on-one with me, learn the business. And at the end of the day, hey, listen, I've been blessed, like I said, to travel the world, to cut diamonds, polish them, to be part of that process. So the owner-operator that's been mentored and trained by the diamond experts in the world and travel with them, there's some value there, and I'm grateful for it. And God has blessed me abundantly in so many ways. But for me, I just want to extend that to others, right? Value in others is really where true joy comes from. I told you guys in the past, my 9-year-old daughter said it. Joy comes from valuing Jesus, others, and then yourself. And that's how I live my life, by what my 9-year-old daughter told me. And that's the truth. And I think if we all live that way, this world will be a much better place. And just, being able to see the value in valuing, especially Jesus first, has been a game changer all throughout. So accept Jesus. If you haven't, repent, turn from your sin, love the Lord, and see what he does. Because I wasn't here 10 years ago. I was lost. I was hurting. I was defeated. And 10 years ago, God changed my heart, and I did it in a way that's transforming my life, and being able to now allow me to share that with others and make sure he's lifted up on high for all things is the least I can do, because without Jesus in my life, I'd have nothing. Wow. And you might say, well, what's nothing? It's not my possessions. It's not my businesses. It's not my whatever. It's the promise of peace and joy that surmounts all understanding, and the promise of eternal life, which he has done for us through the blood that he shed on the cross. So accept Jesus, repent, let him lead you, because it's all good. That's the way it is.
That's awesome.
We love and appreciate you, Cory.
Yeah, Cory, we appreciate
you guys too.
Yeah, and if someone wants to get in touch with you, how do they get in touch with you?
Especially
so
I know that you share a lot of those myths on some of your.
Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram. That's a lot of fun. TikTok as well, at Casale Jewelers. You can message me on our work line. Texting is preferred at 732-370-6777. If you're interested in a franchise opportunity, if you're interested in learning about business, if you want me to come and speak at your school and talk about diamonds, I have a lot of fun doing that as well, and speaking with the kids. Or if you just want some business questions, if you have some, if you want to pass something by me, spiritual questions as well is always open. But here for you, here for everybody. Look forward to seeing this whole podcast and see how this pans out as well.
Well, Cory, I know on behalf of Danielle and I, we want to thank you. You've been a dear friend, a great businessman. I'm super excited for your franchise model, because I think the model that you're building is very unique and going to make a major difference across the United States. Mm-hmm. And we want to thank everyone for listening to the Leadership Table podcast. Today we had we often say that mature leaders have mature conversations, and today we had a mature conversation. I hope you found value in it. Put a comment below, like it, share it. And we are super excited to be on this journey with you.
Contact Cory.
And contact Cory.
Crazy Cory.
I hope you enjoyed the episode. Be well.
Take care.
You're listening to the Leadership Table. I am so excited that you've joined us. Hey, listen, you want to join us in future episodes where we're going to invite some of our greatest friends, some of the greatest leaders we know, to share all about their leadership journeys and just add tremendous value to you and your teams. Hey, listen, drop a comment below on your biggest takeaway, that what is impacting you the most. Like it, share it with those people that you know need to hear this message, and subscribe. And hey, listen, turn on the notifications. I just want to thank you, because you are making a difference. As you help us, we help you, and we just divide the work and multiply the impact. My friend, thank you for joining us on the Leadership Table.